Okay, grade 10's last little thing about trees. So I remember once finding some really an internet site with really old photographs of trees that have been cut down, especially the giant sequoias and the redwoods that are found in California, for example. And in the last century, they used to cut down so many of these trees, and some of them were, 1,000 to 2,500 years old. So I found this on the internet now. Okay, vintage photos of lumberjacks and giant trees that they followed, and they used to cut them down by hand with saws and axes. And you see these bizarre photos where they cut this wedge by hand, and then it, depending on the direction they want the tree to fall. I mean, look at the size of that saw there that they used to cut that wedge. Okay, and then it's going to fall down. But I mean, I don't know if I'd actually pose in a tree that's about to fall down, but I think they knew what they were doing. All right, but we just don't realize, how giant these trees could be. They could be, okay, I don't really know feet, but, really, really wide, as wide as houses or large trucks, or there's one tree called the chandelier where it's a giant sequoia, I think, where cars actually drive through it. So there's still enough phloem in that xylem for water to pass up and down the tree, but they've actually dug a tunnel through the tree for cars to drive through. So the logging industry was really, really big, okay, in the 19th century, so the 1800s. In 1910, it was the largest employer in Washington state. Okay, so we're just talking about America here because, I've seen photos, but all over the world, all right? And it was a very risky job. They used these cross-cut saws and axes, and they had to judge the direction that the tree would fall, and to prevent the splitting of the actual wood. And there's another photograph, bizarre photograph, a cedar tree, 16-foot wide cedar tree. So that's what, about 5 meters wide. And they used to use it to build aircraft, the wood to build aircraft, not just, for other purposes. And, by 1900, an estimate 1/3 of the old forest redwoods had been destroyed. And then that's 33%, and 90% by the 1960s. Here's another one, extraordinary images. Look how wide this tree is. It's as wide as a small house. Imagine how many years it's been around, 4,000 years. Here's another one, okay? And you just get the idea, we cut down trees, we count the annual rings, but now the tree's gone, all right? So I think we're more aware these days, and things are done mechanically, yes, and there's still lots of forests being cut down, Amazon forests across Africa, Asia, even in Southern Africa. There's many areas, Eastern Cape, where I know where Nelson Mandela lived. That used to be a forest, and they are now actually, they've been, I don't know when, but I know that they've been planting many, many trees to try and reinstall that forest there. Okay, so look at this. How many people can fit in the wedge of that tree? Just gives you an idea of how we can just cut something down so quickly that's been around for hundreds of thousands of years. And at one stage, we didn't even blink an eye, and I think we're more aware now.